It is 2024, guys. Welcome to the Men's Conference, episode 16. I'm your host, DC, the legend of awesomeness right here. Make sure to subscribe to our YouTube channel. That is Men's Conference Podcast. Follow us on TikTok. That is Men's Conference Podcast. And follow us on Facebook as well. That is the Men's Conference Podcast. And remember, this episode is actually brought to you by Bongo Bongo. Make sure to click the link in the description below and get to play some awesome games right there. It's as easy as that and get to win some cash prizes as well. So if you want to know a lot about Bongo Bongo, make sure to visit the page. That is Bongo Bongo Zambia. Pretty easy right here. So as usual, I am joined by my two musketeers. That is Laz, the cool guy, and that ranting guy, public enemy number one.
Thank you very much for that intro. I love it.
How are you guys doing?
You go first. Oh, you want me to go first?
Go
Thanks,
first,
man.
man.
Well, I'm okay.
Mhm.
You know what I mean? I'm excited for
Yeah.
today's particular episode because we
Yeah.
have some really interesting people
Yeah.
who are putting out some interesting topics before we started.
Yeah.
We had to hold them like,
Mhm.
yo, okay. But otherwise, the week's been great.
Mm-hmm.
Can't wait for Bola Lelo, which,
Oh.
will be
I know.
Zambia plays.
Yeah.
Hopefully we win. I'm
sure
excited
we
for
will.
that too. Other than that, I'm fantastic.
Awesome.
Yeah.
Laz?
I'm cool, man. I mean, there's nothing really much to say,
Mhm.
but let me rephrase that. I'm very excited because we have two beautiful young women here today.
Mhm.
Two beautiful,
And I'm-
successful women.
Two beautiful, successful women.
You gotta say it right now. Say it right. Say it right, man.
Okay, two beautiful, successful young women.
Thank you.
So
And I'm very curious to hear what they have to say today.
Yeah, yeah.
amazing. So we're joined by Shingai and Memory.
Welcome, guys. Welcome to the show.
you.
Welcome to
Thank
the
you.
podcast.
Thank you for having us. We're excited to be here as well.
Mhm.
Yeah.
That's
No
amazing.
problema. If maybe you could, let's start with Memory on my left here. If you could introduce yourself, let the people out there know. For all we know, there could be soulmate in there in the comments somewhere.
I know, right?
So market yourself adequately.
Yeah, okay. So my name is Memory. I like to call myself elegant, which is a combination of elegance and gallant. I'm an econite. An econite is a person that studied economics, but hasn't done her master's in economics. So you get to be a knight in that field. But I also have my MBA so clearly we have a whole lot of things to talk about when it comes to success.
Amazing.
Wow. Wakalume na mufaka. Ama MBA na mbukuma. You dig? So let's go to Shingai. Shingai, please, as there could be a soulmate in there. Maybe you already have one. Market yourself adequately.
I hope there's a soulmate. Soulmate, if you're in there, give me a call. So I'm Shingai. I'm a business administrator. And like my econite friend, I'm more into business.
Okay.
Yeah. So my field of study is business.
Nice.
Amazing.
That's amazing. Career-wise, where you at? I understand business and full.
Career-wise, right now I'm in telecoms, but still under consumer business.
Oh.
Oh,
Yeah.
okay. That's fantastic.
Yeah.
That's
Amazing.
nice.
So I would like to ask, how is 2024 so far?
2024 so far has been interesting. A lot of interesting activities going on around the world, not just in Zambia, but around the world. And personally, nothing much has happened. Still, I think getting immersed into the year.
Maybe you can
Yeah.
just, your mic.
Oh, sorry. Am I speaking too low?
Okay, yeah, that's perfect. Yeah.
I'm not Beyonce, so I don't know how to.
I mean, just for the audience, so that they can get you.
Okay, all right. So I was saying 2024 so far, there's been a lot happening in the world and in the country, but personally, nothing much has happened. Yeah, still getting into it slowly, easing into the year.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. Amazing. Memory.
Well, for me, I think that I'm more excited to what's coming. So far, nothing yet, but I think the biggest lesson that I want for this year is why a men's conference. Is it like a bunch of men coming together to fight against women, or it's a bunch of men
Fighting
trying
against
to
women.
strengthen each other as men? Like, I think that's one takeoff I want for this year.
Fighting against women. Do you see, Makalume, how they get it misconstrued? Eh? We say
because if
men's
you're-
conference is to prop up men to be strong enough so that they can be the best men for their women.
But why do they need to be propped up?
But at the same time,
What? Because listen, propped up is this. Men of this generation have been like this.
Oh, thank you.
So we are telling them,
Actually,
like,
So
look,
you're admitting.
You
You're
need
admitting.
to. No, we've never denied this.
We never.
We are
wow.
telling them, like, look, you
getting
need to
worse.
stand it firm. You need to be in a relationship very strong. Rule it with an iron fist.
do not be controlled.
Exactly.
Do not be
Do
a
not be
simp.
controlled. Do not be. Thank you very much.
Exactly. Yes. Do not.
Now
be
you're
a
getting
simp.
it. We're on the same
Exactly.
page.
Yeah.
Otherwise,
Those are the things that-
we're not fighting against
Exactly.
women.
We're not fighting against women, and that is the mistake that they have with the men's conference podcast. The men's conference is out there to build men. Spiritually, physically, and mentally.
It's
it's also actually meant to hold them accountable for their actions
Yes,
as well.
Exactly.
Yes.
You can't be
wow.
lazy
You
and
know?
be part of the men's conference. It doesn't
exactly.
work.
You can't be a simp and say that I support the men's conference.
No, you can't.
No. That's not.
can't
You're
be
not
a
in
men's
that
conference
realm.
is all
You can't be an
about.
emotional weakling and say you support the men's
No,
conference.
no. We're here to build you.
Yeah.
Okay, that's exciting to hear, because I think looking back, there was a lot when it comes to social media like Facebook. You would find memes talking about men going to the conference just because it's time for Valentine's.
Those are
So,
weak men.
so in my head, that's where it's coming from. Like, is this?
It was
group
like a
of men?
make believe.
Yes.
Before
Was it-
before this was like a real thing, it was
Yeah.
a make believe. It would all usually come up when it's Valentine's Day.
Yeah.
You hear, okay, men, let's meet at this conference. Let's discuss how to. This year we're not going to be simps and buy
Yeah,
our
women
partners
gifts,
stuff.
yeah.
Yeah. So it's actually nice to see that it's actually come to materialize, and it's not a real thing. And we can be able to sit down here and have a discussion around men. This is something good. This is something good.
You see, the thing is that men out there are lost. You see, because there are lots of women organizations that are supporting them, in what they do and whatnot. But the thing is that men out there are definitely lost, and they don't know where they're going. You find that they're crying over relationships for 5 years. Like, bruh, you're a man, you need to man up, Stop sitting in the
Crying
bedroom.
over relationships for 5 years.
Yeah. But the messages I've received,
Yeah.
it is wow.
And because I think most men handle breakups differently compared to women. They take it very personal when it comes to men. Yeah.
Yeah, because you see, here's the thing. When a man is betrayed by his woman, it's not just a breakup. You've betrayed him, his entire essence. Okay? Because as men, we believe in loyalty. Okay? Because that's the only way we get further ahead.
Yeah.
But when a woman betrays you like that, it's like she's betrayed everything that you believed in. It's not just him as a person, everything that he believes in, everything that he is, his family. You've betrayed everybody around him.
Yeah.
So it becomes very difficult to because men understand it's like in war. Okay, we are going to war. I can't have my fellow soldiers start fighting me when we've got one army we have to conquer. So when we have a woman, it's like we're going into the fray. We need a support system. Now your support system has also turned
abandoned you.
against you or has abandoned you.
Yeah.
So it becomes the way women handle breakups or disappointment and the way men handle it, it's different.
And
Okay,
very
so
different.
okay, just to get at the macro level for that before we get it, because everything that happens has to start from a bigger perspective, and then it gets narrowed down to our reality now. Don't you think that the new world order has taught women to be more independent, to be more successful, and to be big, while not preparing men for that type
For a
of
successful
new
woman.
So
Yeah.
you're talking of betrayal because you're used to a woman in the ancient years where a man will lead her regardless of whether he's thinking right or he's thinking wrong. So you think it's betrayal because that woman is now level-headed to be able to understand that where this man is directing me is not the right way to be directed. So she goes another way, and there goes a man feeling very, very betrayed because in the first place, he's not as level-headed as their society has not prepared him to be as level-headed as they have made the women of nowadays to be.
No, only a weak man.
But I would like to add on something. Like the reason why I think most men feel betrayed because it's not easy to attract a woman, especially if you have to make sure you're funny, you have to make sure you're smart, you have to make sure you get your finances in order, you have to make sure that like
But majority of you come with half of that.
Oh, no.
Yeah.
No.
Okay,
Here's
but
the thing.
Majority of you come with half of that. Have you met a guy who's funny, attractive, emotionally stable, financially stable, educated?
no.
2% of that, yes.
Here's what I'll say.
Okay.
Before I jump into that, because Memory had asked me a question here. The thing is this, Memory, only a weak man will think his woman has betrayed him simply because she got successful. Why? Why? When I mean betrayal is you just leave me. You just change because, oh, I got a job now, I don't need him.
Yeah.
Why? Imagine if every man just worked on that wavelength. Immediately I get a promotion. I think my wife, she's not on my level anymore.
Let me bounce.
But they
Let me
do.
bounce.
But they do.
But those are the weak men. Now I'm saying, imagine if all men just did that. Every time they made some money, they brush off.
But it's not all women that do that.
Yeah,
still.
it's
So
not
just
all.
to qualify your answer, imagine if all men did that. So it's not every woman that will betray their man when they become better.
Yeah, that's true. But here's what we say. We've noticed some common traits. Okay,
And is this very prominent amongst women, or
It's
is this
very
something
prominent.
it cuts across everyone? It doesn't matter
It-
whether they're
it's
male or female.
prominent with most women. Here is why. Most successful women. Here, listen. Women are engineered to kind of follow a guy somehow. Let's face it.
Yeah,
ladies-
Inspired by
that
guy.
one we agree.
Yes,
We
but
agree
now
with you.
I'm coming to it. All right. Immediately, a woman starts feeling like she has leveled up slightly above her man. Most women feel like he's not a challenge
because they have
anymore.
to be
I
able
need-
to look up to him.
If I'm a millionaire,
Yeah.
all right, I have, let's say, $1 million. You and me are dating. Then for some reason you've been working hard, you make 2 million, 3 million. Now you know I'm worth $1 million, you are worth 3 million. So you'll be like, I feel like I can find a guy that can
Can I say
that has
something?
10 million. You understand? Women don't date down. You guys don't date down. You
Because-
always
You don't have to.
go. You see,
We shouldn't
already
have
even your mindset. But here's the thing: success is not a 100% guarantee all the time. So you can't always expect. Look, I'm not saying men shouldn't work to try and succeed. What I'm saying is sometimes things may be a little bit slow. You get lucky, boom. You scored a deal. You're richer than him. You could be richer than your man tomorrow simply because of something that just came along. But does that say that, since us as women, we never date down, Milo amuchinjira makalas. You're not on my level. Do you know how much I get
but
paid?
you're only talking about it from a financial perspective because earlier, I think before this podcast, me and Shingai were having a conversation on success in itself.
Yeah.
I think it's very relative to what you consider as success. A woman that's worth 3 million and is dating a man that's worth 1 million is probably seeing success in just having a man by her side, somebody who's going to protect her, love her, defend her, and she
Provide
doesn't.
for her as
Yeah,
well.
yes, and because she knows that she can only get that kind of feeling from him, she would not have to feel any more superior than him.
That's
You
true.
know,
But
I'd like to say something. Yeah, you're right about that. But you know, the problem is if she has friends, they start to put those ideas in her head. And the fact is that women consider their friends even more important in their lives. So if you've got friends to say, why are you still with that guy when meanwhile he's making 1 million and you are making 3 million? I think it's best you find someone who's making at least 6 million, you know? So there you start to think to yourself to say, is he worth my time? Maybe I should just
I can do
bounce.
better.
I can do better.
Yeah, because
Yeah,
with
you know?
most men, it takes a while to climb the ladder
Exactly.
of success.
Yeah, it
It's
does.
not easy.
Trauma,
But
it's hard.
I was trying to say something. You had said something about a guy who's making 1 million and then suddenly the woman starts making 3 million and above. You must understand that for men, having financial success we find that attractive.
Yes,
For-
you do.
To women, that's an attraction. But for a woman who has more money, that's how many men are attracted to women with more money?
Actually, let me explain it to you like this.
Very
Actually,
little.
most women with money actually love a man that has more money than them. Let me explain. Let's look at it this way. Like women are men are engineered to be the provider.
It's by design.
Yes,
it's actually
by
biblical.
design.
It's
Yes,
by design.
yes.
A man is a provider.
Since-
A woman is supposed to provide support for this guy.
Exactly.
The woman
Now,
is
how
supposed
do I provide for you when you already believe you can provide for yourself simply because you're richer
So
than
this
me?
is why Memory had said, what are you deeming as success? Are you deeming financial success as success altogether? So
in
if
the
I have
21st
less,
century, financial success is what I would deem as success in today's time. In as much as there's a lot of things that can be considered as success,
Yeah.
but in today's time, the first thing that people put up front, the first thing that women will put up front,
what do you bring
is
to the table?
The money.
exactly
Yeah,
The
the
money.
money.
Not
Like-
what you bring to the table.
yes.
You bring the money to
the
the
money.
table.
Yeah, because
You
here's
know?
the thing.
Yeah.
In as much, I could be successful in spirituality. You understand? I could consider that success.
Yeah,
But
it
the
is
moment you
success.
figure out that I can't buy you a shoe on Valentine's Day,
Or on your birthday.
Are you trying? Are you
we're done.
trying?
I am trying, but here's the thing. There's only so much because in as much as we are trying, because here's the thing. When you've been trying for so long and things are not panning out, women start to think, he's incompetent.
Useless.
He's useless. He's pathetic, this guy.
Well, no, I won't agree to you on that one because I think that a man is nothing but his ego. A woman is everything but inspiration. Okay, I will be led by somebody who inspires me. I will respect somebody who inspires me. So, for example, you are very spiritual. Okay, you inspire me in your spiritual thing. For me, success is when I know that having a spiritual life is important for me. I call it success, right? I'll look for somebody who's going to inspire me in a spiritual way. If a woman thinks success for her is money, she's going to be inspired by somebody who makes money. So you need to know yourself and define what you want as a woman. He talked about friendships. I don't think any person that deems success who deems financial independence as success would be attracted to having friends. Would definitely, anyway, any person that thinks finances is a definition of success would definitely hang out with friends that are going to make them feel like they need to get somebody who is more successful than themselves. For me, if protection is what I deem as success, my friends who think in a different perspective will never have to influence me. So I think that if I'm going to be friends with Shingai, the moment I realize that for Shingai, it's just about having a good sexual life, for example, is what she would deem as success.
Of all things you could have given an
and I'm
example
thinking
of.
of it in a more spiritual way. Definitely, she's not somebody I'm going to hang out with. I'll be confusing myself.
Yeah.
So I think that when we talk about finances, I think earlier I had mentioned that with a global perspective, the world is working around empowering women. And this is why you're finding men more accomplished than women. Where you have a degree and I have a degree, I'll be more prioritized as a woman. Why? Because the world is trying to empower me. So definitely, if I'm level-headed, I will not be looking at a man who's more successful than me.
Now,
But an advice for men, if you are not a financially successful guy, what are you doing looking for love?
Okay. You look okay. Let me say something. Let me say something.
I just want to say, for the first time, a woman has agreed that the world is just looking at women.
Aha.
Yeah.
That's
Not
the thing.
just.
Yes.
Yes. Look, men have been left to the dust, fam.
And this is something that I wanted to say that
Yeah.
in this generation, or from the time men were created and women, is that men are actually disposable.
Yes.
Why I say this is that there are a large majority of men that go out in the war and die. Right? You can have 10 women in the village and 10 men. And those 10 women, when they go to the war and they all die, believe you me, the population will collapse. But if you've got 10 men and he goes out into the war and then one man comes back, believe you me, a population is going to succeed.
Yeah.
Because one man can impregnate like 10, 100 women. So this is why men are disposable, and this is why you say that the world is actually looking at empowering women, which is a good thing, yes, but the problem is the attitude that comes with it.
Yeah.
Yes.
That's what the problem
It comes
is.
with masculine traits. Because here's the thing. When women start, because let's face it, the world of, let's say, let's look at it in you ladies here, you're pretty successful. You're doing very well for yourselves. But if I were to sit you down, we're all seated, we're already seated, right? If I were to ask you a series of questions, you would discover that you've started gaining some masculine traits in a way, simply because of the
Can
environment.
I answer
you're in.
that?
Yeah.
As a working woman, to succeed in the workplace is not easy. So we use that as a coping mechanism.
Exactly.
The problem comes in when you get home and do not know how to turn that off, and you want to continue with that masculine
Which
energy
most women
at
don't
home.
turn off.
So to your point, you said women are ahead right now, and the issue that comes with it is the attitude that they have. So you have this successful woman, yes, we're not against women being successful. We are actually pro women being successful, but the issue is the attitude that comes with them being successful. And just a disclaimer: it's not every woman that's successful that has this attitude. No,
Not true.
You will find lovely women successful. They've done the most in their fields. But when they get home, they're a submissive woman, they're a wife, they're a mother, they're a sister, they're a daughter. Then you have another type of woman who gets home and does not know how to turn that off. They still want to exude this masculinity at home.
Maybe you can just put your neck close.
That's where the problem comes.
So won't that depend on the kind of husband she's married to, though?
No, I don't think so.
I
That's a personal conviction.
No, I actually do think that it depends on the husband that you have. Okay? So remember, when I'm at work, like Shingai said, I have to level up.
Yeah.
Okay? At my workplace, I don't see a man, I don't see a woman. I just see colleagues. Okay? So when I go home, and by the way, if there are men who are masculine there or who are doing better than me in my workplace, for me, that's a huge challenge, right? When I go home, yes, it's one thing to switch off and be gentle, more humble, and more loving, perhaps more feminine when it comes to a man. But that man that I'm dealing with, is he also very confident? Does he understand what it means to deal with a woman like me? Because every day I'm fighting with men with big egos, okay? I don't want to come and fight with you, okay? I just want you to show me that I'm nothing but your wife when I come home. So if I come home and you're playing, you're acting like you're my firstborn son, definitely I'll have to switch that back on.
Okay, so
to make
just
sure
to ask
that
you a
don't
question,
end
is it safe to say then that successful women require men that will support them?
Yes.
Because the kind of man you're describing sounds like a man who doesn't support her success, or who doesn't support her drive to be this successful woman.
Apart from supporting me, let him also make sure that he's always way above me. If we are defining finances as success, right?
Yeah.
I'm telling you, we can be at the same level. I meet you, we're getting 5,000. The moment you see that I'm working 10 times harder to get there, what are you doing about it?
Yeah.
Because at the end of the day, I'm only inspired by somebody who is able to inspire me. I can't be inspired by somebody who is a small child.
Yeah.
So
Because
in
I'm
short,
way
a man should
level-headed.
always be better than the
A
woman,
man
right?
should always be running and running and running.
That one,
Yes.
I stand
You
on the
heard?
fence.
Yeah.
I stand on the fence.
Somebody said it.
I stand on the fence on that one. At times, our circumstances do not allow. For example, I get to CEO level.
Yeah.
Does it mean that my husband also has to be some CEO somewhere?
No, it's not about that.
No, listen. So to qualify why I stand on the fence on that one, I feel if a woman is being blessed enough to achieve all these things, all these accolades, well done to her. But at home, if she has a husband who supports her, she has a partner who's very supportive. They're actually men who find having a successful woman gives them confidence when they're hanging out with their friends. Oh, my wife is CEO of what and what company. That gives a man pride. Like he's conquered, he's managed. That's
I think that's a weak man.
That's a weak man.
no. How is it a weak man?
No, listen.
Look,
Here's the thing.
Look. Let me give you a scenario, right?
Yeah.
This guy is a taxi driver. He earns money, right? He's paying school fees, college fees, paying rent on top of that for his girl. That same girlfriend of his gets a degree, graduates, then what is he doing? He's just still as a taxi driver, right? So are you telling me that him as a taxi driver and the girl who has graduated and then she's even got a better job that's actually paying more than him, you think that you can...
Are they married?
No, they're not
So
married.
why was he playing father?
Exactly. You see, this is why it's
Again.
important as a man, and this is why it's important as a man. When you see a woman leveling up,
to elevate.
you need to also do the same
Yeah.
thing. Okay, what do you have to do? Okay, I can't stay as a taxi driver for the rest of my life.
Yeah, for sure,
My
for
woman,
sure.
okay, I can't go to school. What should I do? Okay, let me try to invest in a business. Or if your woman is doing better than you, ask her, look, listen, what should you What can you do to help me out?
Okay, what is the role?
What
Okay,
can you do
there's
to
one
help
thing.
me?
There's one thing we're missing here. What is the role of the woman in helping this man level up as well? Quite all right. He supported me to level up. What is my role as well as a woman to assist this man level up as well?
To offer him peace.
Okay, guys.
Exactly. This is why the Bible said the woman is the helper, right?
Yeah.
So at the end of the day, when you see your man is struggling, what you have to do as a lady to say, okay, this man is struggling. What can I do? Let me try to connect him to businesses. You sit him down first, honey.
But let me
look,
tell you, men will show you flames, and
No,
that's
no,
why.
no, no, no,
And it's
no,
not just
no,
about and it's not just about encouraging him to look for businesses, just like providing support,
Yeah,
telling
sure.
him that I believe in you, I have faith in you, that kind of
Because there are times when a guy feels like he's tried so hard, he's exhausted, he wants to give up. You know, he
Okay.
needs somebody to tell him, hey, yo,
Yeah, at the end
maybe
of
we're
the
getting
day,
close.
women,
Kwali bafi abana kashifie, you know, here's the thing. At the end of the day, what you're saying, ladies, is very nice. Okay, it's very nice. But this is not a Nigerian movie at the end of the day. Because here's the thing. Ladies have a tendency of adapting to the environment and the situation, saying the
Correct,
right
correct.
thing at the right time. But when it comes to implementation, the other way. It's
different.
like the same as when you ask a girl, what type of men do you like? Oh, I like the caring man. I like the Shan who's so sweet, who treats me right. Look at her boyfriend. Absolute
Completely
evil.
different.
You
Different.
understand?
Opposite.
Very useless. Then you're like, but what she told me and what she's
Because
dealing
what
with
you asked
is
her is
different.
what is her ideal man.
Yes.
What she got is what she could find.
I don't think that's the case.
It is the case.
No, I don't think that's the case. I think women, for the longest time, have been put in a box to answer questions and behave in a way that is socially acceptable.
Yeah.
Okay? So that because you see, when a woman does anything out of the ordinary, she's looked down upon like, you get on ni pressure yake. You get on sama enda out. I think nikaule kagelo waka. I think nikashan. So women have always had to be in a position where they feel like, this is why they say most women are delusional. I understand. Because they have to put up a frame. It's like they're acting. Their entire life is, it's a role.
Unfortunately, I'm not here to play nice, and I'm assuring you that as a man, you always need to strive to
For
do
sure.
better because women want to be protected.
Yeah.
Women want to be loved. I want to make sure that my man is going to cover my back. Okay, so if I'm here and you say you like me, you're promising me all these things. If I have a man, I should be confident enough to say I don't need you. I have somebody who's doing all those things.
So
for
I'm
me.
going to play devil's advocate.
You were talking about Shingai. You were talking about a taxi driver paying for a woman. First of all, don't invest in a woman. Invest in a business.
When I say that at Karas,
And when you're successful with your business, then invest in your woman. And when you see that your woman starts to do better than you, just know that in the long run, she's going to run away from you.
Yeah.
So while she's doing better, always create a platform where there is no reason why that woman should leave you. You're a weak man when a woman is capable of leaving you.
Shingai, you want to
Harsh
say
but true.
something?
Yeah, I wanted to ask her. She was saying a man's job is to provide. A man's job is to what were the other things you said?
Provide
to
and
love
protect.
and to provide, to love and etc.
protect,
To
yeah.
protect. What is your role in this as a woman? What are you giving this man for him to be able to provide for you, for him to be able to protect you?
Yeah.
Because let's not just throw this thing one way.
I'll tell you.
This is a give and take.
Yes, I'll tell you. Financially, right, we are working. You're doing better than me. On your low days, I should remove the money out of my pocket to support you to get back to your level of success. Okay? To protect me. If a thief
don't
comes
agree?
in the
I
house,
do agree.
if I'm in the dark, I'm not the one who's going to change the bulb. I'm not the one who's going to fight against the lion when it comes in the house. You have to be strong enough. If it means going to the gym, go to the gym. The moment I start to fight against all the lions that are coming in the house, you are useless for me.
Yeah.
Okay, can I then ask,
Yeah.
do you feel men are intimidated by successful women?
I think, I'll not say men, I'll say men with a low self-esteem, a complex, are intimidated by successful women. Thank you.
Thank you for saying that. Because you see, we've been trying to kind of brush off or clean out that stain for the longest time. Because they just say, I'm successful. We don't. We're not. Why would I be afraid of a successful woman? What we don't want to associate ourselves is some attitudes some successful
That I
women
agree with you.
have
Yes.
Yeah.
because of that success.
Because of the success that they've
Because
achieved.
we've heard, I make a lot of money. Imagine if men could say, hey, look, me, I know how to cook. Why should I even have a girl?
Exactly.
Imagine that kind
Exactly.
of reasoning.
Yeah.
If we could reason, we've heard women say, hey, me, I make my own money. Why should I need a man?
But
Why is it that when a woman, sorry to cut
Yeah.
you short, why is it that when a woman starts making up some money, the first thing, because notice the difference between men and women. When a man makes money, he wants to spread it across the board. He wants, I need to find myself a wife. I need to have some babies to give. I just need to provide, put money there. When a woman has money, they even have taglines, strong and independent. Imagine if men, immediately we succeeded. We're like, lads, you
Strong
made that
and
video.
But men do.
Strong and independent.
But men do that. You know what men do? Okay, at his level, at his Kampiongo level,
Yeah.
he will go for a woman at his level. The
Yeah, but
moment
he's
he
still
starts
not being
becoming
independent.
successful,
He will
then
level
he will
up.
start chasing after the independent
Yeah.
women.
Let
So
her
that
do.
independent woman is saying that I'm independent. If you come to my life, okay, if you come in my life, you need to bring something more than what I have right now. Okay, so if you're going to leave your poor girlfriend to go and start pursuing women that you deem as more attractive, why? Because they had to buy their own soap to bath, they had to earn their own money to pay for their hair. You should bring more than that. Are you coming to take, or are you coming to be at par? I don't need you if you're not bringing any more value. If anything, you come into my life, I should be doing better than you than I was doing before, because you're supposed to be here to protect, to provide, and to love.
Yes.
I think overall that women, out of everything, whether the money or success, I think like emotionally, that's the kind of support men can bring. Because I've had situations where women are married to successful men, but they still cheat on them because someone else.
yeah.
He does not provide emotionally.
Exactly.
I've
Exactly.
heard of stories
It's
that.
like
Yeah.
that. Sorry to say this. It's it's like that genre of porn where that lonely housewife
Yeah, you see?
smashes the pool guy,
Yeah.
the guy who cleans the pool, or the
Because
guy
husband's
who's
always
cleaning the
traveling.
lawnmower.
He's always traveling.
Because
doing
he's
these
trying to
things.
provide. You've heard what independent, strong women want. They want a provider. So this guy has gone to provide.
No, but why? Look, lonely housewife. Why is she lonely in the first place? The woman has gone for business. Okay. Do you know what he's doing out there? Okay, if he's working as an expatriate, do you know what he's doing there?
He's making money.
getting,
Making money.
apart from making money, okay, he's a man, he needs a woman by his side.
Yeah.
He's gone to get a mistress that side. Why hasn't he traveled with his woman?
No.
Carry my woman.
Wait, listen.
So that I can spend more money, so that I can always
Since-
worry about her. What is she doing right now? Where is she? No. The man needs, when he goes for business, he needs to have a clear conscience to say,
Thank
okay,
you.
she's home, and when I go for business, I need to make money. I shouldn't be worrying about my wife right next to me. Nah.
you.
And the thing is that with women, when you travel with them, they always want to always be with you.
They
all the
latch
time.
on you.
Yeah.
Like
Where
they
do you
latch.
think escorts
You
came
know?
from?
Yeah, but here's the thing.
Yeah.
I'll answer that question for you before. First of all, Memory, bringing your wife to your business trip is very crazy. It's unethical and illogical. Since when have men taken their wives to war?
You see?
It just doesn't work. It doesn't work. Because she'll be a distraction. That's all she'll be. You're trying to, baby, I just saw, we should go take some photos at the Eiffel Tower. Woman, I do not have time to go take photos at the Eiffel Tower. I need to score this business deal. Women, I'm sorry, to a man, you are a distraction. This is why sometimes we feel like we have to separate because if we were to just be embraced or indulge in a woman's glow and essence the whole time, men would be useless if they would be around women all the time. Because you guys, there's no bigger distraction to a man than a woman.
But you're not distracted by the side
Because
chicks.
at the same time you'll be trying to make money, but at the same time you'll be trying to make you happy. Those things just
Exactly,
like,
it just
they
doesn't
don't-
work.
yeah,
So
yeah,
I need to neglect you a little bit. Just a little bit.
I'm not saying that we hate you.
Yes,
No.
just a little bit
You
to
don't
get
hate
us.
us, but you're going to find a side chick where you're going, a
Listen,
mistress.
No,
a
let-
side
let-
chick
Keep
is
your company when you're free. Why isn't your
that's it.
woman
but
the
there are
one
no
taking-
feelings
yeah.
attached to
there's
it.
no
That's the thing.
feelings.
Are you
That's the thing.
justifying that
We're
this
not
should be the
justifying,
norm?
but what we're saying here is
Yeah.
this. Look, this is where ladies have. Let me ask you a question. You've heard and seen, or maybe experienced, where a lady is dating a married man.
Yes.
How many ladies have managed to pull that married man away from his wife and kept him for
You'll
themselves?
be shocked.
About
they're
maybe
not.
3 out
But
of 10.
But they're never a lot. And we
That's
always say the same, like, baby, I'll leave my wife for you. Baby,
5 years you're saying that.
5 years. Baby, me and my wife are just friends.
Yet she
You
turns up
understand?
pregnant every year.
Exactly.
Yeah, because let's face it, who's more emotional between the two genders, men or women?
Women are more
Yeah,
emotional.
exactly.
Women,
They
right?
should
So
be.
men are logical. So a
Yeah.
man would like look at his wife and say, okay, yeah, maybe I messed around with this chick, but I'm smart enough to know that this woman has
She's the
been
mother
beside
of
me.
my kids.
Exactly.
She's more important than any other woman.
'Cause look-
These other women just give me sex. That's
Exactly.
it.
Look,
Period.
because the
Simple.
fact is that cheating for women and cheating for men is totally different.
Simple.
When a woman says he cheated on me, you know what in our heads, what we compute is that we spent the money and resources on our side chick. We're not investing so much in our family. That is cheating
Yeah.
to a woman. Cheating to a man is you going to sleep with another guy.
Yeah.
That is cheating. Why? It's because I invested so much in you. I invested so much in you so that you can be loyal to me. Then at the end of the day, you're going to sleep with some other guy who's not even on my level.
And besides-
You know,
So
that's
So
bad.
women should be more accepting of men cheating.
No, we're not
No,
saying
no,
that.
no, no,
no,
No, we're not saying that. We're just trying to help you understand a man's mind. You know, so we're not justifying men
So
cheating.
what
That's not
they're
what
trying
we're
to
saying.
say is, in cheating, men are logical as they cheat,
Yes.
Yes.
whilst women will attach emotions.
Exactly.
Because
That's
in
what
that,
we're saying.
yeah, because in that moment,
But
it's
what
just
makes you think we cannot be logical in our cheating?
because women are slave to their
Okay,
emotions.
but my definition of a weak man is a man that cheats, by the way.
What?
Cheats, as in what, taking
A
his money
man
and
with a
resources.
low
As in
self-esteem
failing to
is
provide for
going,
his
no,
unfaithful man.
an unfaithful man is a man with a complex and low self-esteem because he needs 10,000 women to validate that he's a man
Okay,
enough.
okay,
I don't
Okay,
think
yeah,
it's validation.
But a man who actually respects himself, actually thinks he's a king, won't expose himself to more than one woman.
Okay, no, I understand. I know what you're talking about. I know what you're talking about. A man who's not controlled by sexual desires is a very powerful man.
Yes.
that
Very
I
powerful
understand.
guy, yeah.
Yes.
Very true.
But the fact is that for a man to actually sleep with women, it takes a very long time and it takes a lot. You need to be a high value man in order for you to even sleep with just that
And
one
besides,
girl.
and besides
You know?
memory, and besides,
High value
and
men
besides,
don't go
and
around
besides-
sleeping with everyone.
True. But how many women want that high value man? About 10.
A lot of
100?
women.
Look,
Yes.
and besides memory, you're beautiful, right? You can walk out right now and get any man you
Any
want.
guy.
But for us, it's difficult. We can't just say hi. I like you.
Garden
Should we accept
boys
us?
have side chicks. Taxi
Taxi
drivers have side
At
chicks.
every level, at every
Mad
level,
men
there's-
have side chicks.
Mad men.
No, at every level you attract a woman. Trust
No.
me. At every level
Yes,
you
but this is a kind of woman.
Listen, this is where ladies have always had a mistake. Do you understand that in the olden days, even I think in the olden days, I think even in religious books, I'm not a religious guy, all right? Only lords, kings, counts,
Sultans.
emperors,
Had concubines.
sultans had concubines. Thank you for bringing. Poor men were not allowed to have a concubine. You know
Exactly.
why? Because how you are poor. You can barely support one wife. How are you going to support the rest? Okay, it wasn't even. It's not. This faithful man. It came from a poor guy's side. Listen, let me tell you. Let me tell you. There's a small village in France. It's called chivalry something. That's where the word chivalry comes from. Where men should be romantic and chivalrous towards women. Okay. Do you know why it was named after that village? Because that village, poor men came to realize, how are we going to score with those beautiful women that the only kings can access? Us, we're just left with the girls that no one wants. Okay? So men came to realize, the poor men came to realize the only way I will score those women is to make them feel one, money is not important. It's love.
And it works.
Notice the broke
It works.
guys are the smoothest guys to talk all the time. Rich men have never been really good at romanticizing
It's
a
just the
woman.
money.
They just say, look, you're a beautiful woman.
Yeah.
I'm a successful man.
And
What
I-
are we waiting for?
and actually-
it was very simple.
And actually,
You understand?
and this might be controversial to say,
Yeah.
but I actually think like deep down, women are attracted to men who are able to attract other women.
Yes.
Simple as pie.
What I'm
Yes.
saying
Yeah.
is you should bring something of, okay, why do our parents ask us, what does he do? every time, because
Yes.
they're teaching us to understand that if he's not more financially stable than you, he's useless.
Exactly. Like, look, I, for one, what I believe is this. A woman should only get upset when she had to settle for a lesser man and then he betrayed her. He betrayed her. Women don't, look, I've heard girls tell me, Jebele, listen, if I were to be dating a king and he cheated on me,
It's okay.
I wouldn't be very upset. I'll be crying
From
Benz.
London.
You understand?
Yes.
With a Prada on my hand.
And besides,
you understand?
besides, I'm sure Jay-Z has stepped out a couple of times.
No, it's actually been proven.
Why is Beyonce
Beyonce
sure
never
about
left.
why is
You
she
see,
sure
'cause
about
Beyonce can't
sister.
replace a Jay-Z.
Exactly.
There's no other Jay-Z out there. So, ladies, I think the only time when a man experiencing infidelity, you're only hurt by a cheating man when he's broke.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Simple as
No,
pie.
I don't
like you
agree.
can't be broke and be a cheater at the same time. That's how women
That's
function.
true. They-
Because you,
I don't
because you
agree.
mentioned about
Let her
the
finish.
okay, all right.
For me, it's somewhat of a nuanced answer. So it does affect me if a man is broke and cheats on me. Yes, I'll be affected. But even a high value man with all his money cheats on me because my emotions are attached to this man. So just the very thought of thinking I am sharing this man with 50 other women, that breaks me.
And
But that's
this
how
is
it works. That's
why.
always worked.
No,
I
Since the
don't
beginning
think
of
it's
time.
called sharing because at the end of the day, he's still going to take care of you.
He still comes back.
He
Yes,
comes back
sharing.
home to
That's
you.
sharing his
I'm
body
sharing
and
his
his soul.
emotions and his body as well.
No, emotions.
To agree with Shingai, I think the reason women are becoming more successful and independent is because regardless of the status of a man, if you disrespect me, I leave.
But if I'm a billionaire, it's a whole different
It
scenario.
doesn't
Yeah.
matter.
I'm
As
going
long
to
as I can
divorce
put
you and
yes-
get half of your money.
Thank you.
Did you hear that?
And that's
I
why
don't
men are
have to
avoiding marriage
put up with
nowadays.
that.
Now, do you see why we are just not giving rings anyhow? Do you see
Exactly.
that?
Exactly.
Because why are you
Look,
going to cheat?
You are not going to take what I've worked for ever since I was a baby. You understand? What you must understand is this.
At the same time, you've worked for this from the time you were a baby, as you said.
Yes.
But I've helped you build this empire.
But here's the thing.
So I am going to take what's
Yeah.
mine
No,
as
no,
well.
no, no. But here's the thing. Let's say, Shingai, you and me, married 6 months down the line. I've been working on this project
For 10 years.
for 15 years. Then you just came 6 months, and then you take half of my 15
Okay, no,
years.
on
That's
that
evil.
on that one, that's evil. Yes, I agree.
Yeah.
But what I'm saying is, we start off as equals. We grow this empire, and then suddenly you become
Yeah,
this.
That's a different scenario.
superstar.
But usually women, look, most women never even start where you are equal. Women usually come along the way of success.
I don't think
they
that-
just come and jump on the bus which was already moving.
Yeah.
Like, whoop, whoop,
I don't.
they don't
Shanghai,
really start from
I don't
the
think that's
parking
evil
lot.
because, by the way, my body is not for sale. So, billionaire or not, if at the moment we start dating, if you disrespect my body, if you mutate my soul with 10,000 other women, I will not only take half of your property. I will make sure half of your soul is taken with me. As
my
well.
What do you mean by half of my soul? What are you gonna do?
Well, let's get there first. But all I'm trying to say is men place value in women based on how much they can bring to the table. It doesn't work like that. The reason my parents are making sure that I get empowered and I become successful, it's so that I shouldn't have to put up with a man that's going to cheat on me, abuse me, mentally, physically, emotionally. That's not how a high value man behaves.
Look,
Okay.
it's good that women are actually getting the opportunities that
Yeah,
they
yeah.
never got back
Yeah.
in the 90s, 80s, 70s, whatever. You know, it is really good. But the fact is that the attitude that comes with it, you find that, okay, you could be on the same level with the man, but because you are listening more to your boss, you know, who's more probably financial than your husband, you know. So at the end of the day, you start to push your husband. Why aren't you like my boss? Why aren't you like this? Why aren't you? So it definitely
Remember what I
irritates the
said
man.
earlier? I said in the workplace, this woman has to cope. This is a coping mechanism. I just see colleagues. It doesn't matter whether they're male or female. But when I get home, I'm not supposed to now look at you and say, why can't you be like Mr. So-and-so?
You know,
He's more aggressive. He's more assertive.
There,
He's more...
there are some women that actually cannot keep that. They do not know how to
They can't-
differentiate.
they- look-
You know, they take their work at their home and they take their home at their work. So it's really difficult to actually, control a lady who's actually earning probably the same amount as you or
even
more than
more.
you.
Maybe you've married the wrong woman. What I'm trying to tell you is marry your partner, marry your friend. Your friend will know when I come home, he is the man, I am the woman. Even if I make 10 times more than him, when I get home, the roles do not switch. The roles remain the same. He is the head, I am the support.
Shingai, it's like this, eh? It's like this. You've heard of that saying that a woman will be upset that her husband told her you can't be coming late at home, but she'll
Yes,
be
I
okay
have
with her boss telling her, oh, today you have to work in late. You understand?
One,
or you
listen.
have to come in early tomorrow. So you listen to your boss telling you to come
one
in
is
early.
career limiting, whilst the other one is my husband telling me I cannot be coming late. I'm trying to help you provide for this family.
Exactly.
So it's not like I'm playing out there, I'm partying. No, I am working so that we can be financially stable.
Yeah, and
So
that's
you're
where-
telling me to come back early, and my boss telling me you have to work late.
First of all,
and, you cannot compare the two.
First of all, I would tell the boss, that boss guy, I'll be like, look, I understand that that there are some long hours at work from time to time, but at the end of the day, in as much as we are trying to strive for an equal society, there should be some sort of equity. There are
And
some
it
companies.
defeats the
Yes.
purpose, because if we're going to if we're going to raise children and we're telling them boys and girls are equal, and yet at the same time I'm going to say, okay, I'm a wife, so I'm asking if I can knock off early, then what are we fighting?
Do you see? And this is why equality is the wrong concept for women.
And,
Yes.
and this is why children are being spoiled.
Exactly,
Yes.
because think about it,
Yeah.
DC. If we have, and this is why we've been so against equality in so many factors. Okay, men and women are not the same.
Correct.
Look, here's the thing: I cannot have my wife 7 days, 6 days straight. She comes at 22 hours at Kunchito. First of all, your company doesn't understand. One, you are a woman. You shouldn't be working that long. Two, maybe you have kids at home. They should understand that too.
Okay.
Three, you are a married woman. Four, even your physicality. Listen, ladies, you work. That's good. But women are only known to work 4 to 8 years. On average, women, after that, you get tired. No matter how interesting your job is, you start,
Wow.
in a Vincito, if vanilla make. Men, the only thing that stops a man from working is
When he's
death.
dead.
Retirement. If there was no retirement, men could work till they
Well,
drop.
I don't
Women
agree
can't do
with
that.
you. I think
No, it's
that-
fine.
No,
It's
no,
okay.
no. I think in the past, the reason why marriages worked better is because they took gender roles very well. Okay, so if you don't want me to come back at 22, make sure that you are able to provide for me to an
Yes.
extent where I don't need to work. But if I have to step out of the house to go and work and make sure that you have a roof over your head, I should find you've cooked and you've washed the plates and you've even changed the nappy napper. Yes, it's true, because at the end of the
That's the biggest turnoff. That's the biggest
No,
turnoff.
because why are you allowing me to be at a place where I need to work 10 times harder in order for you to be okay? You should be able to say, babe, I don't like you coming back late, so stop your work. I'll make sure that I bring my career. I bring that money. No, if she loves her career, then you should understand that for you to accept her, then you should accept everything that comes with her. So if you feel like a masculine man who needs to be giving rules to that woman who's working, stop chasing after women that are working. Go for the woman that's going to be totally dependent on you. But if you come to me and you tell me, oh, I'm okay with you becoming a CEO, I'll support you, you should be okay to understand that for me to become a CEO, I have to work 10 times. Shanghai, you know.
Yeah,
If
we
you're a
have
woman
to work 10
in
times
the
harder
same
than the man.
boardroom, we'll make the same statement. Your statement will be more respected than my statement. If my statement has to be respected, I have to understand that if there's a meeting at midnight, I will be there the same way another man will be there. It's true.
Now, memory. Here's the thing.
Yeah.
Here's where I'm going to break it down to you. Do you see what I've been saying about Kalume? That women only want things when they suit them. There's no middle ground for ladies. It's all about me, nothing else. This is why on their wedding day they do not allow anyone else to wear a dress that is white. They only want to be only them in white. Everybody else can wear other colors. I wear white.
Okay,
Why?
so what makes you think we only want things that
Let
suit
me
us?
explain
Yeah.
why. You see, when a man is working all the time, women are the same to come and say, You're always working all the time. You never pay attention to me. You don't even
That's-
love me.
okay,
or share."
now that's
But
a
when a
different
guy
woman.
says the same,
That's-
you don't provide enough. That's why I have to work till midnight. And if I love my career, even when you can provide, then you should have never married me. You should have married a woman that can only be dependent on you 100% like a parasite. Do you see that? Do you see where we're going? Because women have come to a realization like, wait, this equal treatment, equality thing, if we bank the scale towards us, everything falls in our place. Men don't stand a chance in anything. Listen, you are working, you are making your own money. Then me as a man, you tell me that I have to, when I get back from my job, because my job doesn't require me to work like a slave, but I come back and you tell me even me, I'm working hard and I love my career. So I should find your plates and I should find you've cooked and cleaned in the house. Like, how unreasonable is this? Look,
Okay,
I love
can
to
I-
cook
can
from
I
time
say
to time.
something?
Let us say something.
Can I say something? When it comes to our roles being equal, on that one, I do agree with you. It creates an imbalance, and where we are going, it's going to get worse.
Yeah.
For me, I still believe women should be allowed to be women. Men should be allowed to be men.
Thank you.
Where I don't agree with you is where you are telling me a woman, a career woman, by the way, should sit back because she cannot afford to come home late every day because of her career. That I don't agree with you.
Okay.
If you're going to marry a career woman, you know what comes with marrying a career
But
woman.
Shingai,
You're going to
it's-
support this woman.
Yeah.
You're going to enable her to grow and to flourish, because at the time you were marrying this woman, you knew her aspirations. So for you to come midway and say, you know what, I think you're working too hard and I think this is not going to work for us, you need to quit your job. That's unfair.
No.
not
Nobody's
quitting.
talking
No,
about
no,
quitting
no,
your
no.
job.
Okay, so
Yeah,
what are you
Shingai.
saying? I should.
Okay. Okay, let
No,
me
no,
ask
no,
you a
no.
question. Let me ask you a question, right? Since you're saying that you are disagreeing with that. Okay. Cool. We sleep,
Yeah.
the two of us in bed. We hear a thief come and break into the house. Are you telling me I should go because we're all equal? I should go and,
Remember what I said? I said we're not equal. You are a man.
Yeah.
Keep your role as a man.
Do you see
I'm
what I was
answering-
saying?
you see-
It goes back to what I was saying.
That's what I said.
They only want
if
this
you
to
heard me,
benefit them.
if you heard me, I said I do not support our roles being equal. I do not support that. I agree with men being men.
Then why don't you support the role of women staying at home and taking care of the kids?
Because in the world that we live in, it's quite impossible for one person to provide if we're going to live a comfortable life.
which is true.
Okay.
Very true.
I
Yeah,
agree.
yeah,
I-
very
I
true.
agree with that because anything can happen to the man.
Yeah.
So she has to
So
be prepared.
I need to be prepared, and I also need to supplement whatever he brings in. Let me also supplement, so it contributes to the quality of life we're going to lead.
Yeah,
So
and
what
just
about
so
those
you know,
women?
there are men who actually do tell their wives that they can stay home regardless of being educated to
Yeah,
take care
there are
of
men
their
who-
children
because they can afford
yes,
to.
because
Yes,
they can
yes,
afford
yes.
to. So the fact that you can't afford, okay, and you have decided that you need a woman to work as well so that she can be the provider in their house, then you have to accept that you have packed the gender roles and you're both equal, okay? Because look, at the end of the day, what I'm saying is whether I have huge career aspirations or not, if I decide to get married to you and I'm working beyond your acceptable time, you have to tell me, babe, this is not working for me. Okay, instead of you working 10 times harder, I'll work 10 times harder so that you have to come home in time or you have to stay home to take care
I-
of
I-
the
You'll be
kids.
the one to,
Yeah.
you'll be the one to actually chase the thief away.
Yeah, memory. Because here's the thing. Okay, we seem to forget that there are women who've there's such a thing as falling in love with your career. There are women
Yes.
married to a guy. Even when they know this man, I wouldn't even have to work a day. You understand? For example, baby, I got the cheese. I have the money. You don't even need to work.
Yeah.
But you've fallen in love with a career.
Yeah.
You're working not because you want to even provide.
Yeah.
Maybe we never even use your money.
Yeah.
With women, your money is your money.
Can
alone.
I just say something?
yeah.
Women these days are working not because maybe she wants to add on to the family support. We want to remain independent, even when you
Yeah.
leave or you God forbid you die. we want to be able to continue.
That's
Yeah.
true. But
Which is a
here's the
good
thing.
thing.
Yeah, which is a good thing. But here's the situation, Shingai. We are acting like the work sector. When a woman stops working, she can, if she can't get back to the workforce if she needs be.
It's difficult.
It
No,
is-
it's
it is
difficult for a
difficult,
woman.
yes.
It's easier for a guy.
Yeah, it is difficult, but that doesn't really rule out everything. Yes, look, even me as a man, I wouldn't be stupid to say just because I can afford everything, I need to put out fail safe in case I die, in case I'm incapacitated or whatever that happens to me.
Yeah.
I should be able. I have to have accounts that make sure my money and businesses.
How many men think
thinking
like
like
that.
that, and how many men can afford to do that?
This is why the men's conference is here. We need to make sure every man is on the same page. Like, look, you have to create fail safes. Okay? In as much as your wife has got a degree and whatever, but there are women out there who've fallen in love with their careers, and their family and friends will not let them. Even when I can provide.
So can I interject? Is there anything wrong with falling in love with her career?
Yes, if it comes at the cost of her family.
Yes, you know what you do with a woman that's in love with her career?
Yeah, dump her.
She's supposed to be in love with you. If she's in love with her career, you leave her.
Thank
You
So,
you
yeah.
love her enough to pursue her dreams, to fall in love and marry her career. Wow, you stay back to love somebody who's going to be in love with you, not her career.
Yeah, because I don't even understand why
Thank
women
you for that.
why women fall in love with a career, because they're replaceable at the workplace. They can replace them.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Every employee there is replaceable.
Yeah.
So you falling in love with your career more than your family. You know what's important? A family. The fact is that you are going to
Diesel
be
excel.
70. Exactly. You're going to be 70, celebrating your 70th birthday
Alone.
with 50 grandchildren
Yep.
and and children and children of yours. That is one of the richest and best times of your life. Not whereby you concentrated on your career and then you're on the deathbed alone.
Just to add on to what you're saying, that's what I would consider success. If
Yes.
at 70 you retire and you're surrounded by
But
all
feminists
these,
are telling them, like, look, at 70, you can retire and all you have around are your degrees and your
no,
diplomas.
at the end of the day, all you have is your family.
Yes.
Everything else can fall.
True. And
can
also
be
this
replaced.
notion of feminist, sorry, I think that maybe I may be attacked about this whole notion of feminist. If there's no such thing as feminism, deep down, every woman is a princess and a queen who wants to be protected. Any woman who calls herself a feminist is a woman, again, with very low self-esteem, because she's just realized that she's not good enough for the high-value men, so she'll pretend as though she's a man herself.
She's going to be a high-value man herself.
She's going to be a high-value man herself.
I need to drink water for this, I need to drink water for this, guys.
Yeah.
Yeah, so women should stop preaching this feminism. They're the ones that are causing a very bad society where men have started to feel like women.
They're
and then-
causing an imbalance.
Yes,
Yeah.
causing-
Exactly.
Yeah.
yes, and as a result, this is where you see men acting so emotional, crying over being heartbroken, and at the end of the day, in the beginning, God did not create a man to start behaving like a woman. So at the end of the
Exactly.
day, I think that men should understand that the only thing that a woman appreciates about a man is the fact that he's alpha. And for you to be an alpha male, you need to have somebody to submit. And I can only submit to somebody who is stronger than me. So don't go looking for a strong woman when you're a weak man. Go look for a weaker woman than you. Otherwise, at the end of the day, you will become the woman in the relationship.
Yeah.
That's fire right
Perfectly
there. That's
said.
a jingle right there, Bakalume. That's a jingle right there.
Guys,
But
I'm
otherwise,
speechless, side.
this has turned out to be a very great show.
Yeah.
Episode 16 is fire.
Yep.
I'm
Too
just
much.
saying. But, for you who are career women killing it out there, you are definitely making sure everything is turning to ground zero.
I
in the
even
work
have a
sector.
question. Like,
Yeah,
do women consider yourselves independent women?
Me, no.
No.
Because outside work, I want somebody to call me and tell them to call me and tell me they love me, they care about me, and if my car dies along the way, I'm not
I
calling
need
my
somebody
boss.
to
I'm
come
calling
fix
my
it.
boyfriend. I'm calling my husband or whoever is in my life. The fact that I call you and you say, waisako bayango, bye.
I like what you've said because it's true. Some career women who've gotten lost, they forget that a career is not going to hold you at night. It's
No,
not
it
going to
won't.
tell you, baby,
I love you.
I love you. You know, even your money. There's one girl like me, I just sprinkle my money around my bed. Like, look, it's still not going to whisper I love you in your ear. But at the end of the day, men need women, women need men. It's not
plain
a
and
battle
simple.
of the sexes here.
It's plain and simple.
It's plain and simple. We need each other. It's like somebody's engineering to separate us, to make us hate each other for some reason.
Or to
which
start
is-
marrying our fellow women and our fellow men.
That's the thing. That's the thing.
You
But
know?
it's quite
That's a
sad.
global agenda there.
Yeah.
Yeah, there is an agenda.
So
out there.
anyway, this is the part of the segment where I get to read messages, guys, and
sure,
you get to
fine.
advise. So yeah, this one was actually sent to me by a lady. Hi, keep my identity hidden. Why would a man date a woman for more than 5 years? Keep her in those 5 years. She does all the wifey duties to show him she's capable, yet he leaves and settled, marries someone else. Why is it that most relationships of people who date for more than 5 years don't end up in marriage?
Can I answer that?
Let Shingai first answer it.
Okay, cool.
Yeah.
If you call a flash station,
Voila.
yeah. So you can take
In
it out.
Bemba, that
Okay.
means, for those that don't know, if you cocola filabola, it means the spoiled milk shouldn't
Yes.
last for too long.
Yeah.
You dig? Or rather, milk shouldn't last for too long. It will spoil.
It will
Something
spoil.
like that, yeah.
This is where Beyonce's "I'm a Single Lady" song, I think, comes in for me. First of all, why are you devaluing yourself to date a man for 5 years, and in that 5 years you're playing wife? This man has not honored your parents. He hasn't come to your home to ask them for your hand in marriage. So why are you being wife on him? He's not marrying you because he has realized that you're a low-value woman and he deserves better. Because any man that wants a wife will make sure that that woman has been kept so well and is going to be good enough for him to keep in their home, you know. So the fact that he's playing around your body anyhow for 5 years, he knows that it's possible that several other women have done that before him.
Several other men.
Several other men have done that before him. So why should he marry you? Women should stop playing that game. There's nothing good about playing wifey to somebody who hasn't married you. If he's not putting a ringer on you in the next, because I hear that men, by the time it's 6 months, they know that
They
this
already
is
know whether it's going to work or not.
Yeah,
Yes. The only thing that's constraining him is probably because he's not financially stable. But while he's preparing himself to be financially stable to marry you, continue being an independent woman, a very single woman. Love him from a distance. In fact, pray for him so that he gets there early enough for you to marry each other sooner. Stop playing wife to a man that's not your husband. Because by the time he's becoming your husband, he would have been tired of you. He will start looking for somebody fresh.
Yeah, that's very true, because what you've said is true. As a guy, 6 months, sometimes it can even be too long, 6 months.
Yeah.
We could talk to a lady for a week and two and already start seeing she's giving off wifey traits, you know. By the time we are ready, we're like, I think I found the future mother of my kids. You understand?
Yeah.
But that lady in the message, she was saying things like, oh no, you know, I did all the wifey things, all the good things, but he still didn't marry me. I think she's lying. You see, this is a one-sided story. Only if she's dating a fool. Okay.
No, but just to her defense, we've heard several stories like that. People dead for 5 years, even longer.
Yes,
People
yes.
dead for 10 years. Then when this
But
man finally decides to settle, he goes and settles for somebody else.
Yeah, but Shingai, here's one thing. Here's what you are giving us the woman's perspective.
Of
Okay,
course.
now let me give you the man's perspective. When a man never wastes, unlike women who can waste good men out there, good men who are good for them, they go for Mr. Toxic because he's got nice hair.
Yeah.
You understand?
And nice shoes as well.
And nice shoes, you know, and I like how he makes me feel, even though he beats me up from time to time.
Even a ceiling at
Exactly,
home.
exactly. Men never
They're
waste.
stealing at home. That's a
Yeah.
valid reason.
Yes, there are women that I like him because he's got a microwave in his house. Yeah, there's some crazy women out there. But here's what I'm saying: men never waste a good woman. When we meet a good woman,
We lock her down.
we actually even fear to lose her. Like, yo, I'm not going to waste my time.
Yeah.
You understand?
Yeah.
So that woman, she's saying that. She's just telling it from her point of view.
Yeah.
But if we were to put two and two together, probably the guy has got reasons why
There
he
are
hasn't
other
put a
traits
ring on
that
that
she
thing.
hasn't put,
There's
yes.
something she hasn't done. maybe
In fact, it's not. I don't think it's about doing. Maybe probably the certain behavior she displayed that she
it
didn't like.
displays exactly
Yes.
that.
And she doesn't know
But
that's a
then
trigger for him.
Yeah.
5 years is a long time for you to date someone. Obviously, certain traits are going to come out that
Of
that are
course.
flattering.
Yeah, of
so why are
course.
you dating somebody for 5 years?
Yeah, but here's the thing: the guy right now, there is what we call look. There is securing the bag and securing the the cat. Okay, what is
I have
happening?
never heard of securing the cat before.
No,
That's a
now
first.
it's today is the day. There is
Yeah.
securing the cat. There is keeping it around because cats out there are a little bit scarce. But I would like to get entertained from time to time.
Cats are
Keep
not scarce. Cats are a lot.
Here is the thing, but you see,
one in that
it's
moment.
much easier
Yeah.
with a secured cat than go. You see, cats
Look
are
at
a
the
lot.
streets. No, cats in the streets are not to be trusted.
Yes, but here's the thing: cats are a lot. But what you should understand, from a man's perspective, in as much as cats are a lot, these cats only want to hang around with one dog. You dig? So me, I'm not that dog that they want to hang around with. So I have to secure this cat that is delusional, wants to be with me for some apparent reason. I don't know why.
Delusional,
So
okay.
I will secure this one, knowing very well the other cats don't want me. But as soon as another cat wants me, bam.
So why should you be the
jump
one
ship.
to be used?
No, I'm not advocating for.
Yeah.
for
No, I'm
for-
actually agreeing with you. I'm just
Yeah.
speaking to the women out there. I think that men like to say that, oh, she's so desperate. I've just known her for 2 months and she's already talking about marriage. Yes, I'm talking about marriage because I don't want you to use me.
Yeah, no, you know, if in the olden days, you see,
Wait, before we he
Yeah,
didn't
sorry,
answer.
man.
You did
Sorry,
not
man.
answer. I would like to hear your answer, bro.
About the woman.
Yeah, the
Oh,
message.
The message. We're living in a competitive environment here. And nowadays, like men are mostly like dating multiple women at the same time. So you'll be always be in competition. So the only reason why I probably didn't marry you is because probably the other woman.
Competition one.
Yeah, exactly.
And
The
you
other-
were too available.
maybe.
no.
Yes. Because I think that everybody, look.
Wait.
Yeah.
I would like. He didn't finish.
No,
Yeah.
no, but I'd like to. Joe, you want to say
Yeah, I
something?
want to support your answer and just a little bit on the line. I feel like every human being enjoys desire. Okay, so if and men are chasers by nature.
Yeah,
Yeah.
true.
I want something that's harder for me to get than something that's just there
Yeah.
without any effort. So for 5 years, if I'm playing wifey to you, your mind will be with somebody who you think is out of your league. This is why he was saying the moment that you can afford that kind of woman, you are going for something that you desire and not something that's just been bringing itself to you, you know?
Yeah.
So I just feel like he's not marrying her
And
because
I think that's
she's too
toxic
available.
behavior.
Okay,
Women
because
love
he
toxic
shouldn't keep,
behavior.
but he should, look, if you
Most
know,
women like toxic behavior.
I
I
don't know
agree.
what type of women you hang out
Stay
with.
toxic.
no, I
Makalume,
agree.
stay
It's toxic behavior. This is why you shouldn't allow yourself as a woman to be in with a man who's going to just keep you. Okay, the moment that it's 1 year and is not saying anything to do with marriage, go find somebody who's going to respect you and desire you enough. You guys haven't heard this song by Michael Bolton, When a Man Loves a Woman. He will even look like a fool to his friends just to keep that woman, like he was saying. So if you
But
don't
not
see
like
those,
a fool. That's simping now.
that's what Michael. If she says sleep in the rain, a man is going to do that. You've
no.
probably never been in love before
There's
to
cholera.
that extent, you know.
There's cholera to sleep in the
But
rain.
I think
Michael
that-
Bolton was a simp. That's what I was saying.
but it will show. But
Yeah.
it will show.
Yeah.
Okay, yeah. So, like, for example, so I believe that probably there's something she did that didn't allow him to actually like put a ring on it. So yeah, like he said before, like we're only getting one side of the story here because if we sit the man down and let him explain what actually happened, you see, you start revealing things she didn't even say in that message.
Yeah, true.
And and that is true because you see, there's she gets too used in the relationship. Now she starts to delay the man, you know. She starts to disrespect him in a way, because now I've known this man for a while. I've threatened to probably break up with him and whatnot, and he's not going to do anything to me. So what do I have to do? I can step out and do anything. So what does the man, you see, men don't talk a lot. We observe. And when we observe, when you notice that we're too quiet, there's a problem right there. Even the same as women as well. You know? Even the same as women. So the fact is that when he steps out, he's now going to start revealing to say, okay, the reason why I couldn't marry this woman, because one, I'll tell her to do certain things she would refuse. One time I told her to come to my house. I told her, look, I'm tired. Can you please cook for me? I'm not saying that you act like a wife, but you find that she doesn't do that. So at the same time, he's now keeping track
are
now.
those grounds for breaking up with someone?
I know. You see, the
He's
man
giving
he's
examples.
not
Yes, they
tolerating,
are.
You know?
Here's the thing. Listen,
You see, the thing
there's
that
some
probably
things-
is tolerating it.
Look,
for a long time.
You know, if there's one thing men are suckers of, a woman that can just a woman who's
willing to do anything for a man.
Thank you for saying that. A woman.
So we shouldn't just bend over. So what are you trying to tell us? Because he's saying something else. You are now giving us
Here's
the
what
okay,
that lady
okay.
out there. I'm sure there are some things her man would tell her, baby, do this. There are women. They just can't do something until they whine.
Yeah.
Okay, but I thought men didn't like
Okay.
women.
We-
Like
Yeah.
I said,
I'd like to-
we barely talk.
Yeah,
Yeah,
but I would like to flip
we
it.
observe.
I would like
Yeah,
to flip
go
it.
ahead.
Let's say if I'm like in a relationship with you, right, before we get married, but I start displaying traits that's not unattractive, like I'm not ambitious, would that
Yeah,
motivate
yeah.
you to marry me?
No.
I don't
Exactly.
take you out. You're always
Exactly.
constantly in the house.
I love being
Exactly.
in the house.
So you want a yes sir woman?
A woman that is
I'm
compliant.
telling you.
No. Not,
I am a
well,
homebody.
We want a woman.
Yes.
We want a woman who's concerned over her man's happiness.
Yes,
That's
who's
it.
compliant?
And if his happiness is leading me astray, it's okay?
No.
You
It's
see,
not that
he
you
talked
can
about
do it.
calling a woman. He said, if I tell her, come to my home, because I'm tired, come cook for me,
But how is
probably play
cooking
wife
a-
at
for a
some
guy?
point.
Yeah.
No, you know what he said. Look, I'm
But
not
cooking
stupid.
is not
If
leading
you're
you
hungry
astray.
and tired,
Are we
I'll bring
coming
you
to
hungry
do? Are we
lion.
coming to do Netflix and chill?
Didn't you say we
How is Netflix and chill leading you in a wrong direction as a woman?
Unless if I was forcing you
But
to
you
do
also
drugs.
want Netflix and chill.
No, we do not want Netflix and chill.
Elliot,
No.
didn't you speak about gender roles? Like, what's
Yeah.
what's a man's role in the relationship?
Provide, protect.
He's a
Exactly.
provider and to protect.
In a marriage, not in a relationship.
Relationship.
No, but relationships
That's
are
what
leading
relationship.
to marriage.
It starts in a
Look,
relationship.
Relationship is a
It's
test to
preschool.
see if marriage is.
Preschool before you get into
Can
grade
I say
one.
something? Whatever happens in a relationship is when it gets to marriage, it graduates.
Yes,
So if this
exactly.
guy has terrible traits, small ones, just magnify them when you go to
Yes.
marriage. So if in her case, maybe the guy saw certain traits that were not good and he left. It could justify why he left.
Exactly.
Because now he's thinking ahead, okay, if she's disrespectful now, what about when I marry her?
Exactly.
Okay,
Because
so
if I
do
have
you
to-
guys believe in celibacy before marriage?
for
You can, because look, if
You're not a Christian.
I said
You're
I
not a
can't answer that question. I was about to say that. I can't answer that question. It's a 50-50 thing. I cannot, but I believe that a man should not force a woman to have sex, with him, because at the same time, when you have, look, this is what I said earlier on. A man needs to, when he controls the sexual desires, believe you me, he becomes a powerful man.
He's a very powerful guy.
Exactly.
Very,
Same
very
thing as a woman. A woman, when she starts to have sex, she has to have sex with just for that one guy, not going to sleep around. Because once she sleeps around, believe you me, it destroys her
becomes numb.
mental.
Yeah.
It destroys her mentality, her spirituality, and
becomes
all that
numb?
stuff. Yes.
In the sense of numbing, women, it's been discovered. No, this is just a common trait. When a woman has had multiple sexual partners, she becomes numb emotionally. We've seen women when they could jump into a next relationship.
She becomes a feminist.
Exactly. Not only
Did you
that.
just say she becomes a
Not only that, but look at it this way. Not only that, listen. There's a reason why you remember your first breakup, because it was your first. There was nothing, you didn't have experience. But when a woman has had 100 breakups, the next breakup won't even, she's not even afraid of it. She's not even afraid to step out of the relationship.
true.
It's something, it's nothing
I
new.
don't know what women
There's
you people
nothing
are dealing
valuable.
with.
No, we are dealing with women of the 21st century, baby. So here's the
I
situation.
must be outdated.
Maybe, but here's what we're saying. Celibacy, do I believe in celibacy? I believe in celibacy with a woman if she's a virgin. You understand? If she's not a virgin, F your celibacy. Why weren't you celibate before you deflowered yourself?
No,
You dig?
but I agree with the celibacy, because most men nowadays just sleep with women. Anyway.
Exactly.
Yeah, that's true.
Exactly.
I've heard
I
stories.
do, but
I've
here's
heard,
the
I've heard
thing.
stories
Listen,
where I've
And
heard
before
stories.
you can meet your partner, 10,000 people. Me, my grandmother used to
this is
say,
why I'm
Umwana
refusing.
kashi is not a cassava. Who anybody will come and say, Ushayapia, or they put it back.
Yes.
By the time that it's been
And
bought,
this is
the shit's finished.
Don't touch my
Yeah.
100
This is what I'm
hands.
saying. Look, There is no way I'm boyfriend number 29. You've slept with everybody. Then in
then
here
you
to
ask
celibate.
for celibacy.
Get out. You understand? I am not going to be celibate with a woman that is not a virgin. You understand? You should have been celibate from day one. You understand? Simple as pie. That's just
But
me.
how do you know maybe she was in a situation where she was manipulated to lose her virginity?
That's also that's
Dude,
also
because
a
Or she was married and divorced.
Because exactly. Let me ask you this question.
Let you finish. Let you
She was
finish.
married and divorced.
Yes, that's also possible.
Then I want to be dealing with a woman that's married. That was
No,
once
at
married.
your age, yes, you won't. But there's a man out there who will deal with a woman who's been married before, and she's looking for love a second time.
Wow. Here's what I'm going to tell this guy. Bakalume Mfweni. This woman was in a marriage. Do you understand how much sex was going on through there?
Well,
Then only to tell you at until you should put a ring on the finger. First, you should ask her, your first husband, were you celibate before the actual marriage?
what if that was the case?
Yeah.
But still more. I would still refuse.
You are shaming
I am
women
not
who've been
shaming
married
anyone.
before.
What
You
I am
are.
simply saying is you
before
cannot
you
make
go far,
standards on me that
let
you
him
didn't
finish.
make for other
Okay,
guys.
Let him finish.
Okay, I believe that two types of ladies who are like celibacy. Like, for example, maybe one was manipulated into losing her virginity, so
10
she's now
times
more
she was manipulated.
now she's more careful on who she opens her legs for.
Yeah.
But the second one, probably like she's only celibacy for for certain men she doesn't want. Like she's not really.
That's not
attracted to.
celibacy. That's just selective.
For men that
or
she wants.
Because
Yes.
just so you know, some women have got a tendency of keeping a husband material so that he
Yeah.
marries me. Then there's this other guy who she actually really likes,
Exactly.
but may not.
Exactly.
And if he chooses her first before you, she's going for that one. But in case he doesn't choose her, you're the one.
You're the one
Okay,
she
those
falls
are
for.
toxic women.
understand?
Very toxic women.
Okay. Okay, before we go far, all right, got another message right here. It says, good morning, guys. Please note I need advice regarding my marriage with my wife of 4 years. One day we had a fight, then I went to work, and when I came back home, the house was clean. No one at my place, and I registered my business under her name, and now she's the one receiving my money. So she vamoosed my guy. Clear the house.
What triggered that?
We have no idea. So he would like
But
some advice.
look, I don't care what triggered what here. There is no need for. Look, I am not going to support crime. Okay. First of all,
How is that a crime?
No, no,
She's
no.
the spouse.
Listen. Look.
She's just going to find a
All
better
right,
house for
wait,
you
all
guys.
right.
Wait, you don't see
All right,
anything wrong with
Shingai,
that? You don't see anything
Can
wrong
you
with that?
I
imagine
do,
that?
but all I'm saying is that's not a crime.
Shingai, listen, Shingai, you and me get married, right? You go to work, when those sevens are killing it as a career woman. You come back, Vonse Vaenda. I'm nowhere to be seen.
What can you say?
You see?
Will you say no? It's not a crime. Kai, he was my husband. Yeah,
He's just
I
going
thought
to
so.
find a better house for the both of us. He'll come
Without
back.
telling you,
All
I'll
right,
call you
so-
a criminal.
Okay, so what advice would you actually give this guy? We'll start with Shingai.
We don't know the details, so it's quite difficult for us to advise. But on this one, there should have been something that triggered the wife to leave. Women
Yeah.
are not known to just wake up and leave.
Yeah.
So he now needs to do self-introspection if he hasn't, or he needs to tell us the truth. Whatever happened, he needs to tell us the truth. I feel something should have triggered this situation, and the wife should have been too upset to even want to see him anymore.
Okay.
She just felt, you know what, I've had it with you, I'm out.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Awesome. Memory.
I think in the first place, if he's coming on social media, it just tells me a lot about that guy. Yeah, because when there's such a big problem in your home, seek the orders, whether it's your parents, your uncles, the church, or the court, before you can actually. So there was a communication breakdown in that relationship from way back, because I won't just step up and go unless I've tried to communicate. You haven't listened. The fact that you're even going on social media, it means you're not level-headed enough for me to speak with you. So instead of keeping on talking about the same thing, I'll just get the stuff and go. So I think that, like Shingai is saying, there's more to the story, and I think that the guy should seek for better guidance than coming to social media, because on social media there's toxic people out there who are just going to trigger his emotions, and he will do something really, really
Social
bad.
media supports anything and everything.
Yeah.
So
Exactly.
he will find sympathy on social media in even stupid things. as
Yeah.
well.
Yeah. That ranching guy.
My guy, you dated the thief. You married a thief. You understand? Nikawala la girl oyo. She probably started stealing from you. Wallet, achosamoka 1 kwacha, achosamoka 50 ngwe, or whatever amount she was stealing from you in your wallet. You were dating a criminal from the get-go. You should have known this. First of all, here's what I'm going to disagree with what they've said here.
Okay, let's do a quick one.
Yeah, social media is not all bad. You understand? When you are with the men's conference, do not consider it social media. You are amongst men, and we are here to advise you. This woman, you should be filing a lawsuit right now. You need to sue her. If your elders are not there, maybe they are gone. You never grew up in a society where there were people around you to help you out. Not everybody is privileged to have that. You understand? But otherwise, una dating a kawala la muntuanga, you should have seen that. You should be preparing to take this woman to, matter of fact, just say, I have been robbed. You understand? Go to the police and file in robbery. And the first suspect should be your wife, because you went to work. They will just come and arrest her as a thief. There's no one who lives out there. I don't care what the trigger points were. You were just, the trigger is this. You never saw the red flag that you were dating or marrying a thief. That's all I'm going to say. Simple as pie.
Laz?
That guy's a dumbass, man. First of all, the only reason why I say this is because first, why would you put your business under your wife's name?
Simple as pie.
Why would you do that in the first place?
Yeah.
And at the same time as well, okay, like I said before, we don't know what triggered the wife to do that. He could have been violent. Maybe he did certain things that she just got irritated by. Then she eventually left.
Store his plasma
so,
screen.
so it's a bit difficult for me to say what advice I would give him because I don't know who actually is the bad guy in this relationship here. So the best thing I would say is
the
that
bad guy.
Sorry?
The thief is the bad guy.
You can finish.
but as well at the same time, he should have paid attention to the quality of woman he was dating as well, if she was capable of such. Because certain women, once you date them for a long time, you know that exactly. There are certain characteristics. How do you pronounce it?
Characteristics.
Yeah, characteristics they display that would kind of inspire you and say, can I trust her? Is she the type of person I'll keep
But I
in the
think
house?
he trusted her. For him to put the business in her name, he must have trusted her.
Or
Or he was
maybe-
whipped.
or maybe
he
he
was
was
cat whipped.
Or
Maybe
maybe
should
he
have
was,
never done that.
or maybe it was just a simp.
Love
That's why.
makes you do very dumb
Yeah,
things.
he was
Exactly.
a simp.
He should have put his put
He
up his
should have
guard.
been listening to the men's conference.
Exactly. This is why he sent us that message.
Yeah.
So anyway, at the ending of the show, I'd love any last remarks from you guys. So we'll definitely start from Laz there.
Bro, I'm worn out, man.
Oh,
Everything
okay.
I've just said, bro. Okay. What last words can I have?
What encouragement can
Okay.
you?
Nah, let's start with the ranting guy. I
That
think I'm worn
ranting
out,
guy.
man. I'm worn out.
Thou shalt not be a simp, as it is a sin in the eyes of the men's conference. In every relationship, you should be above your woman, literally. You understand? And you should always understand that women like power. They're attracted to men with power. And when I mean power, I don't mean the physical realm, unless maybe if it's in the bedroom. You dig? What you should know, Bakalume, is this. A relationship, you need to be slightly a little bit, I should say, you should rule with an iron fist. You understand? Genghis Khan type of scenario. But what I am saying at the end of the day, if you're going to let the woman control the relationship, you are done. You will be texting us tomorrow crying that your wife robbed your entire house. You understand? So you should be awake. You should be perspicacious to understand that out there, it's a battlefield. Sometimes even your lines corporal next to you, which is your wife, can shoot you in the back before you even face your enemies. That's all I'm going to say.
Memory.
Okay, so for me, my advice to women is if he's not good enough to inspire you so that you can respect him, don't settle for him.
Amazing. Shingai.
Mine is in love. Fall in love with your partner. Fall in love with a person that understands you. And for successful women, you need to settle down with a man who will support your dreams, who will break stereotypical norms, who will be there to support a woman who's doing better than him. So be with a partner. That's all I'm going to tell you. Be with a friend.
Okay.
Yeah.
Amazing.
So
No,
you
you're
don't,
not-
so you can avoid having somebody rob you.
Yeah.
Okay.
You know what? I'm feeling jealousy. Let me even say something as well.
Yeah.
Okay. As a man, you have to understand that you have to rewire your brain. And the only reason why I say you have to rewire your brain is because so many men are constantly distracted. They're distracted by alcohol, women, drugs. Most of their minds are broken and they can't focus on anything anymore. So the first step you need to make if you want to rewire your brain is to understand what is happening to you. Once you get to that point, you also have to understand how foolish and stupid you look, why women don't respect you, why women don't want to get with you, why you can't get anything done. So once you come to those conclusions, you have to blink and cure your brain. So if you can't control your own mind, you're going through life with zero control because you can't control other people, you can't control the weather, you can't even control if your heart stops beating.
even
The only
control
thing you
women.
can control is your mind.
Yeah.
So gents, rewire your brain.
Amazing. So yeah, I wrote something. So these are 13 unspoken rules for men out there, Jen. So this is definitely, you gotta listen. So number 1, always keep your word. If you make a promise, keep it, guys. Number 2, respect women. Treat them with dignity and respect. Number 3, take care of your appearance and dress appropriately and maintain good hygiene, guys. So number 4, be honest. Don't lie or deceive others.
I like that one. A lot of men are very deceitful
Ish, too
and
much.
very cunning.
Yeah. too
Toxic,
much.
Kyrie.
Toxic.
Number 5, show respect for elders. Listen to their advice and guidance. Number 6, be loyal and stand by your friends and family. Number 7, be responsible. Take ownership of your actions and their consequences. Number 8, be self-sufficient. Learn to take care of yourself, guys. Number 9, learn to forgive. Holding grudges only hurts you in the long run.
Except cheating.
Okay.
You can hold a grudge
Just
against.
I'm not going to forgive a cheating partner.
Okay.
Tizamuza, okay, I forgive you, but I don't want you to be in my vicinity.
Amazing.
You mean for the
life.
women, right?
Amazing.
For the women, right?
Yeah,
For the women, right?
yeah, of course. Like
Let's get to
yeah.
number 10 before we prolong. Number 10, be humble. Don't brag or boast about your accomplishments.
True.
Number 11, be patient. Good things come to those who wait. Number 12, don't be a bully. Treat others with kindness and compassion. Number 13, be a good listener. Pay attention to what others are saying. So yeah, and then I've got an extra point as well, guys. This is really important to all you men out there. An extra point. Be confident, believe in yourself and your abilities, man. And never give up in life, guys. So yeah, it's been fun, it's been great, it's been amazing. We had Shingai, we had Memory, and I had my 2 musketeers as usual. That is Laz and that ranting guy. Make sure to like the page. That is Men's Conference Podcast. And as usual, this episode was brought to you by Bongo Bongo. Click our link in the description below and subscribe to our YouTube channel. That is Men's Conference Podcast. Follow us on TikTok, follow us on Facebook. It's as easy as that. And yeah, you'll be checking out some pictures as well on our Instagram page. That is Men's Conference Podcast. So it's been great. It's been amazing. This episode brought to you by Bongo Bongo. Check that page on Facebook. That is Bongo Bongo Zambia, and win some awesome prizes. So deuces.
Thou shalt not simp.
Bye.